Good morning, good morning, good morning. You guys are going to believe. Yeah, you're going to believe it because you've probably been watching some of my posts. I'm in Cancun. It's been a whirlwind. I got to tell you, this has been a blast. Our planes have been moved around. Our family's been moved around. Lots of stuff is going on. We probably got in around 10 o'clock Central Time last night. And it's been an interesting thing. And so I've been scrambling. My wife it's 5:30, so it's 6:30 here. So we hurried to get. I hurried to get in, and then I hurried to get up this morning and find my way around. And the interesting thing is, it's funny how life does you. And this morning's topic is I was so compelled. I wrote down probably 5 shows yesterday while I was flying through the airports. As some of you have been following, thank you for the comment. And your flight is now departing at. Oh my gosh. So your flight is now departing at. So that's the title of this message today. And I thought we would break that down, but I wanted to tell you first and foremost, man, what a thrill it is to be able to, go around the world and do certain things and have the freedom we have. And we sometimes don't take inventory of all those special things. And one of the most special things that turned out of this trip, I'm here with Dr. Robert Rome. He is Personality Insights. He is a legend in the industry of speaking and teaching and actually ministry. He's an amazing man. He's given his life to teaching others personality insights and understanding how they're wired inside, right? It's interesting. I didn't meet him till actually this morning. You guys are gonna believe the story. So this man, he's been doing this his whole life, and he was besties with Zig Ziglar and all of the greats, and he has really pioneered this personality trait, DISC, right? So DISC is something that people have been categorizing their personality traits in quadrants D, I, S, and C for many, many years. It's built off of maybe in the 1800s, as early as the 1700s with the 4 humors, personalities. But we know now that the personalities that are making up people, right, are of 4 main personality traits, and we call those DISC. The first one is a dominant personality trait. The second one is influential personality trait. And the third one is supportive personality trait. And the last one, C, is for control or cautious, if you will. And so this man has pioneered it, and I have never met him. I've watched his videos for days and days and days. And as we went through the travels to get here, it was just really crazy. And I just want to give you a little thing about a little God thing, because I've been wanting to meet him for a long time. And now here at a resort at the Moon Palace, Sunrise Moon Palace here in Cancun, Mexico. I haven't been here since I married my wife. This is where we had our honeymoon. Not at the palace or anything. But anyways, I get up this morning. I'm scrambling around at 6:30. We probably have 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I said, Dave, I got to go live. And so she's still in bed, and I'm scrambling around. This place is massive. No, there's no way I can see anybody or anything. I have no idea where I'm going. There's no elevators. And long story short, I'm going to find a place to put Wi-Fi. I'm going to go live for my people. And as I'm wandering around lost, who do I run into, right? Dr. Robert Rome, the guy, like the man, the myth, the legend, right? And I think I'm in a good spot, but I'm like, hey, Doc, good to see you. And he knew me, which was really cool. And he said, where you going? I said, I don't know. My plane, my flight is departing, but I don't know where, right? That's what we're going to talk about a little bit. But what a wonderful man. He had a jogger hat on, and he had a bag. I said, yeah, quiet time. He goes, yeah, I've been doing the whole time. So he walked me around the whole palace here, and he took me to this beautiful witness room. I'm going to put some comments down real quick here. Make sure everybody can hear me okay. Good morning. I got to do better, because on StreamYard, I don't see comments. Hi, Debbie. Good morning, Jason. Christina Wilson, you're on fire out there, man. I got videos coming in from you 24/7. Hi, Heather David. I got up. I'm here at Cancun. Don't worry. Hello, Madeline Saylor. Hello, Jason. Ken Hartley. Good morning, brother. Man, Ken Hartley. Everybody give Ken Hartley a shout out, man. He's going through some medical stuff. I hope you're feeling better, Ken. We're all going to pray for you right here. Christina Wilson. Plus, you read Who Moved My Cheese? Yeah, that's funny. I was actually, I changed my topic this morning. I was going to do, you took my damn bacon, and we're going to probably do that one tomorrow. But it is a knockoff of somewhat of Who Moved My Cheese. Ken, you got this, brother. Wow, everybody on here. Thank you. Good morning. Hello, Deb. Hello. All right, so here, your flight is now departing. So, anyways, I meet Dr. Robert Rome. It was like I just couldn't believe it. Not that I was a little starstruck because he's a legend, right? But the thing that really hit me was last night when I was rolling around in bed and I was doing my prayers and trying to figure out how I was going to get to sleep. I don't know if anybody does that. I roll around in bed. I roll around bed. And I get up and I roll around. But anyways, I had this thought that I was going to run into Dr. Robert Rome. And so, can you imagine the horror, when you have this vision that's going to happen, right? And it's in your subconscious, in your sleep, and it's all this is going on. And then I get up in an unknown place. I'm walking around trying to really find coffee. That's the funny thing. He said, he goes, I said, I'm looking for coffee. He said, yeah, there's coffee. And then we find Jesus. I'm like, yeah, it's not at that order. He goes, oh, we'll get it figured out. But it is that order sometimes. But anyways, I run into him. And I was going down the stairs, and he was coming up the stairs. And I looked at him, and he looked at me. It was a dark hallway, And I said, Dr. Rome. He said, hi. He said, are you Todd? I go, yeah. I get in on time. I said, no, it was late. We walked through it. But my face was like, so the reason my face was like that was because I was surprised to see a man that I've never met. I've only seen on videos, and he's taught me a lot of things. But I think more importantly, I was like, I envisioned I was going to see. Has that ever happened to anybody? Like you just like almost manifest uncontrollable things. I don't know how to set that up any more than that. So other than I think it's real. I think that God puts things in our lives and He puts us in places, and He's mapping a lot of this out. All these things are working together for us. And I wanted to lead into really what I want to talk to you about this morning is your flight is now departing at. And I think that Dr. Robert Rome's story for me this morning in beautiful Cancun, I am safe, everything's fine. This place is phenomenal. Whatever you've heard about Mexico, I got to tell you, I haven't experienced anything but love, respect, politeness, joy, hard-working people to speak our language. I get it. But I got to tell you, on the way over here, and obviously the confirmation I had this morning when I met Dr. Robert Rome in the dark hallway at 6 a.m. in Cancun, Mexico, was, what is your flight, right? What is your flight, and where is it going? And it was never more true to me than the last 3 flights I've been on. I just wanted to share that with you as we kind of set up this week. The 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 words, actually 5. Anybody doesn't want to hear as a traveler, a world traveler, any type of traveler on a plane. You get the text message or you get the voicemail. Your flight is now departing at. I've heard that over the last 3 months more than I care to hear. And I thought, well, we'll just make a learning thing out of it, right? Ken Hartley knows this. Jason knows. All you know this, man. Every flight I've been on this week and every flight I've been on in the last 3 months, it seems like they've been delayed. And I got it right here. I'll just show you right here. You can see it. Here's the text I got. Your flight is now departing at. And so then you wait and you read and you're like, oh, my flight's changing. And I have no control over it. I have no idea. And I sit there and now your flight, and then you sit at the plane and then you get another text, or the person, if you even get on the plane person says, we are now departing, and There has been a delay in. We're sorry for the delay, but I got to tell you, one time I was in Detroit and I got your flight is now departing at message, and it was just one of those things. It was horrific for me. It was in the middle of the winter, and we couldn't finally get on the plane. Then we finally got on the plane, and we sat on the plane, and the stewardess or the steward or the flight attendant came over the speakers and said, the flight will be departing at 20 minutes. We're sorry for the brief delay. And then she came back on again. She said, I'm sorry for the brief delay. It'll be another 20 minutes. This one, and then she came back on again. She said, this will be another 20 minutes. And lo and behold, we were on the tarmac in Detroit, Michigan for 8 hours. Your flight is now departing at. I got to tell you, one of the craziest moments of my life. We sat there and they kept de-icing and going back and forth. And it was just awful. People were upset and we were trapped on this plane. It was just the most awful thing. Babies had ran out of formula. They had served all the alcohol. The people were drunk and upset and throwing things around. It was hot and mothers were cranky and it was just awful. And the toilets were full, and it was just one of those things where, and then finally we got off the ground. And the next day, Delta sent me an email or contacted us and said they were sorry for the flight departing at, and they gave me a $200 voucher. Kind of a small thing for what we went through, but I just wanted to kind of share with you that life, is a flight. And I wanted to kind of break this down to you because I wanted you to understand that what I went through yesterday, which was not a bad flight, but we were stalled and stumped and stalled and stumped, and the flight just kept starting over, and we kept hearing your flight is now departing at. And there's just so many unknown things in our world. There's so many unknown things in what's going on in our life, and that's why we have to prepare. We have to prepare. But at the end of the day, some of the hardest things to do in life are to prepare for the unknown, right? And so I want to just kind of break down this whole idea of what's going on with your flight is now departing at. Because here's how it really breaks out. After they say your flight is now departing at, they continue to say these things in the text message. If you'd like to stay on your current flight, you don't need to do anything at this time. And then they follow up with this. If you would like to search for alternative flights, you may change your flight at no additional cost. Well, I thank you very much. I have no control of that whatsoever. I just only know that my flight is departing now at. How many of you out there have been in a situation, this wired differently world, this wired differently life, where you have no idea where things are going to go? You have no idea how you're going to get out of certain things. You have no ability to actually control the situation. And I think that's one of the things that is very, very hard to understand and hard to deal with. And when I sit on a plane like that, and I watch people fidget and fuss, and I feel like I am more important than the moment, and I'm never going to get out of this situation, or it's going to take too long, and what is going on? Whose job is to do this? Why can't they do this? Why are the de-icers? Fort Wayne Airport's crazy. I mean, we've had to get 3 different flights in one day. Airport pilots are in 2 towns away, and the de-icer wasn't out of bed. I mean, there's all kinds of things that control our life that we have no control over. And I think that's really what I wanted to talk to you about. And Dr. Robert Rome is a good example of what happened to me this morning. I had no control over that. That's a good thing that happened to me. But I wanted to talk to you about, more importantly, your flight is now departing at. And so I just want to get through this for a little bit this morning and encourage you guys that I'm here in Cancun, and I want to set this week up a little bit. Your flight is now departing at. I just wanted to break that down. So the first thing I want to talk to you about this week is your flight. I find it ironic that Ken Hartley is on the morning show with me this morning. Hello, Alyssa Pear. I know who you are. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Christina. Hi. That we need to understand before we can deal with your flight is now departing at is, what is your flight? And I think that we all need to understand that your flight is your life, right? So when I'm sitting on planes and I'm traveling all over and I get notices like your flight is now departing at, I want you to understand the metaphor. The metaphor is your life. And I think that when we're on a plane and the flight's unknowable and when it's going to start and when it's going to stop and how all that's going to work, I think that's no different than your life. I think every day we get your flight is now departing at. There's just no way that we can predict everything, but we can be prepared for our flight. So what is your flight? So before we really spend a lot of time in this weekend, I just want to touch this morning on your flight. I want to zone in on your flight. And I think that we need to understand, Jason, what is your flight? Ken Hartley, what is your flight? These people, everybody that's on here, we've got a lot of people on here this morning. I think we get on these shows and we listen to me, we listen to other people. But I think before we can really get a lot out of something that we're doing, we have to know where we're flying to. I mean, I knew on this flight, I knew I was going to Cancun. But the start and stops and the departure times have changed like 6 times, 7 times on this flight alone. Right? So this morning, I just want to challenge all of you. And I just wanted to have a little good time with you and tell you that I care about you. My job is to encourage you. My job is to love you. My job is to motivate you. My job is to be consistent for you. And so this morning, I wanted to talk to you about your flight. I wanted you to think about your flight. Where is your flight going to? What is your flight? I know a lot of you that are on this call right now, or this StreamYard, and I know a lot about your flights. But I think we need to dial it in a little bit. I think we need to understand exactly, for the most part, where this plane is taking us. Because it's one thing to be sitting on a plane and not knowing when it's going to leave. But it's a different thing to be sitting on a plane and not knowing where it's going. And I think that's kind of my job, to help you figure out where you're going to take your plane, right? Where is this going to land once it lands? It's not going to get off the ground at the same time all the time. It's going to have departing types every here and there. But I need you to understand, I want you to really, really today think about your flight, right? I know exactly where my flight is going. I got on the flight. I knew it was a Delta 8321. I knew it was departing at 9 a.m. I knew it was doing all those things. And I knew when it landed, it was going to go to Atlanta. And when it landed in Atlanta, from Tampa, it was going to then take Atlanta on an international from gate E31 all the way over to Cancun. And we were going to drop in the Cancun airport. But here's the thing. I think a lot of us, that metaphor isn't really ringing out for you right now, because I don't think you really, really know where your flight is taking. What is the purpose of that flight? The purpose of the flight is to take you somewhere, and I need you to understand exactly where you want that flight to take you. Because the most successful people in the world know 2 things, right? They know what they want, and they go get it. They know the flight, and they go take it. And I think a lot of us are jumping on planes and we're flying to places and we're like, okay, I'm going wherever it takes us. I'm going wherever it's going to take me. And I really want to help you with that. And that's what hit my heart this morning was, hey man, your flight is now departing at. And when I started thinking about the unknown of when the flight was going to leave, every time I saw that, I started thinking about, wow, at least I know where my flight's going. I know that the time's a little wonky. I know that they may have to move things around. But at the end of the day, man, I know where the flight's going. And I want you to know where your flight's going. I think you need to know not only when your flight's departing, but where it's going. So let's think about that today. That's your homework for today. I want you to think about, what is your flight, right? How are you going to fly and where are you going? I got a really good idea for you. Get on a flight and fly to the Tiki Hut Retreat on May 10th. And I'll help you figure these things out. I'll help you find your purpose. I'll help you find that plane that take you where you want to go. Not a plane that's just going to take you somewhere that you're going to just land and take your chances on. All right. So there's a little commercial. I worked that in because a lot of you are flying there and the tickets are rolling in. It's so exciting. Well, listen, you guys have a good day. I ran into Dr. Robert Rome today. I was thinking about it in my sleep last night, and it happened. I didn't know what time I was going to get out of the airport, but we certainly landed. God has delivered. But I want you to know, when you see the word your flight is now departing at, I want you to know exactly what your flight is and where it's going. All right, good time this morning. Thanks for hanging out and listening. 20 minutes with me here in Cancun. I'm going to hit every morning here. There's no reason I can't hit every morning. I got this beautiful place. And the schedule is really lax and it's kind of a vacation. So Jody Rozier, you're always texting me. Mike Carney, you're out there texting me. Chad, my brother. I'm taking some time off while I'm out here. So don't worry about me. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and we're going to break down the rest of this. And here's what I want you thinking about. I've got here, if you'd like to stay on your current flight, you don't need to do anything at this time. If, though, you would like to search for an alternative flight, you may change your flight at no additional cost. There's always a cost. Have a great day. Go to toddsailor.com. Get to the Tiki Hut. We want to see you there. God bless you guys right from Cancun. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I love the likes. I love the hearts. I like everything that's going on. I appreciate the encouragement. I want to build you. I want to encourage you, man. Do this thing called life together.